Hi, my name is Reid Bierly. I'm a Vice President of Revenue Operations here at OPSWAT. Today I'm in Tampa, Florida, and I'm at our mobile lab sharing 4 megatrends in critical infrastructure protection for professionals working in cybersecurity and networking. Now, our lab has the typical enterprise data center on my right, and many examples of the OPSWAT technology used in a hybrid multi-cloud environment with email gateways and internet traffic and portals, SaaS applications. And on my left here, we have the operational technology environment, collecting information on machine status and outputs secured with OPSWAT technologies as well. Imagine we've got a robotics line here or an electrical substation, maybe a water treatment plant or a baggage handling system at an airport. But these are the industrial control systems that operate our critical infrastructure for our modern lives. And in the center here, with our kiosk and our net wall devices, we really have the demilitarized zone between our IT and OT that prevents threats and controls the flow of information between the domains. At OPSWAT, we work with more than 1,400 businesses and governments spread across 53 countries, which gives us a unique vantage point on the trends in cyber threat prevention. So what are those 4 trends? Well, the first trend is in the convergence of IT and OT. With more than 3,500 security companies offering point solutions today, enterprise IT customers tell us that endpoint protection has just gotten too complex. The integration of all these point solutions is painful and expensive. And plant operational technology customers tell us that these air-gapped networks supporting remote sites are running legacy protocols with minimal staffing, and they have inadequate threat protections. Due to digital transformation, these siloed networks of IT and OT are converging and digitizing. And the traditional networking and cyber solutions of using firewalls and air gaps and classic antivirus engines are just no longer fit for purpose. Enterprise IT and OT are struggling with digital transformation. They want a single integrated platform for cybersecurity threat protection that creates a fortress across both IT and OT networks. Now, the second trend is the shift to multi-scanning. Both enterprise IT and plant OT are finding the classic one antivirus engine is only catching at best 74% of malware and ransomware, creating breaches in their security that typically cost them between $1.7 million and $10 million per incident in IT and OT cleanup costs and fines from regulatory agencies. We call this trust no file. And innovators are transitioning from single engine to multi-engine scanning. Now, multi-engine scanning, like you can see here on the right, is where we use 6 engines or 12 engines, or at even the most innovative companies and governments, they're using more than 20 antivirus scanning engines, simultaneously catching upwards of 95% of known malware. And rather than applying those engines to just one OT plant, like on my left, or one enterprise IT data center on my right, innovators are standardizing on these multi-scanning engines across the converged IT and OT networks, even including things like our kiosk and using our Vault and NetWall products as well. Now, implementing these multi-scanning engines can be used for many applications: B2C web portals, SaaS applications like Salesforce, email scanning for Gmail and O365. Multi-scanning can also be applied to cloud storage for groups that are using Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, and Alibaba. And it can be applied to on-premise storage scanning with Dell and NetApp and Hitachi. Now, the internet traffic is also an area that you can apply multi-scanning for groups that are using F5 or Dell Isilon. And even just like we talked about, USB drives that are coming up and being put in this kiosk that might be applied at a plant level from contractors coming on site or vendors that need to update these industrial control systems on my left. The third trend is data diode. And traditional enterprise IT would tell the plant OT air-gap networks to go and implement a software-based firewall to protect those endpoints. Because software allows data to move in both directions, it makes the robotic lines or the nuclear power plants represented here on my left open to malware attacks. Innovators are realizing that they want a hardware-based solution that only allows data or light to flow in one direction. From the OT plant on my left to the enterprise IT data center on my right. Just like our NetWall product here. It uses the laws of physics to ensure hackers can't get into the industrial control systems. For example, raising the chlorine levels in a water treatment facility or gaining access to the video feeds for military or civilian infrastructure. Innovators realize that while bidirectional software firewalls are great for many applications, critical infrastructure protection needs physics-level security of the data diode. Now, our last trend is around device compliance and cyber insurance. Cyber insurance costs went up on average 94% in just last year alone, and we're seeing more and more businesses who can't even get cyber insurance. Innovators, in order to hold down rising premium costs, and in many cases just hold on to their policies, are implementing device compliance checks. We call this Trust No Device. This software, like our Meta Access product, checks that every device on the enterprise IT and plant OT network has the latest firmware updates and allows cybersecurity and networking professionals to define policies on how to handle a device that is out of compliance. In real time, our Neuralizer, which uses artificial intelligence and machine learning, is monitoring these industrial control systems for out-of-bound activity, looking for new devices or new activity that might highlight a new threat to your infrastructure. Innovators are even implementing real-time supply chain country of origin checks for all devices on their networks, scanning for equipment manufactured in Russia or China to ensure that their networks and infrastructure are compliant with federal laws and executive orders. Device checking is a new tool for not only threat prevention, but minimizing cyber insurance costs. So we've talked today about 4 megatrends in critical infrastructure: the convergence of IT and OT networks and the desire to pivot from point solutions to integrated, easier to manage platforms. Second, we've talked about the shift from single antivirus to multi-scanning engines to catch more than 95% of known virus and ransomware. The explosive growth in hardware-based data diodes using physics-level security to keep data flowing in one direction. And finally, how device compliance checks and artificial intelligence monitoring are being used to reduce the impact from rising cybersecurity insurance premiums. If any one of these topics apply to your business, I would invite you to visit one of our mobile labs across the globe. To schedule a visit or just learn more about critical infrastructure protection, visit our website at OPSWAT.com.